Welcome to
Bloodbath TV.
Today we review Doom. No one gets out alive.
Rip and tear until it is done.
Doom, based on the popular video game franchise of the same name by id Software, the movie follows Space Marines on a mission to Mars to find out these mysterious events that have been happening. After a thorough search, they find the scientists, but are soon attacked by some mutated demon beasts, and they have to escape.
The following video contains spoilers. Viewer discretion is advised.
This is like the time where I love The Rock as a wrestler. He's the people's champ, and I'm watching every single movie that he's in. He was brilliant in this. Even though he was a tinier version of his now self, he was still a beefy boy.
Yeah, he looks very young. I guess that's gonna be said for anybody 15 years ago or whatever. And the same is true with Richard Brake. That was a big shock to me. It's like, I only know him from Rob Zombie movies, basically. He was awesome.
A couple days ago, I asked Sarge for a little pussy. The next day, he brought you onto the team.
And you had tanks like Destroyer walking around with a minigun. Shit you want to see in a Doom movie.
On top of that, when we're talking about like young-faced boys, Karl Urban, William Butcher, the baddest man on the planet, being super smart, super badass, and just like that showdown at the end. Karl Urban and The Rock have a fight, and it's a fun time.
Semper Fi, motherfucker.
They did bring a lot of the Doom weaponry. So you had the chainsaw, you had the minigun, they had, of course, the BFG.
BFG.
And even we saw, not exactly, but they did have the zombie-like creatures from the games, as well as ones that were similar to the imps.
Great kissers, too, by the way. Great ass on the imp.
As well as even a Hell Knight makes an appearance. And, personal favorite, Pinky.
He went to one galaxy, his ass went to another.
And I wish they had my good boy Kako Demon over here, because this one, he rip and tears like a sir. I mean, you can look at that little top hat there.
I think if we're talking about video game adaptations as a movie, Doom has the greatest adaptation of all time. The first-person shooter scene.
The whole movie's building up to this amazing, again, 5 to 6 minute scene, and it is worth it.
And this is the one thing I remembered of this movie, revisiting it, I was like, I can't wait for the first-person scene.
And as somebody who is watching this for the first time, which is, I know it's blasphemy, because I played this when it was on a fucking 3.5 floppy. I bought it off this guy at a bake sale, and I fucking love Doom. And I didn't watch this for some reason. So this is my first viewing, and it really shocked me. I was freaking out on the couch. So if you have not seen this movie, you need to watch it.
Dr. Carmack's condition is irreversible. Because Carmack's condition is that he's dead.
I just liked the look of this movie. I know it sounds weird, but the walls are what's important in this film, because when you play the video game, it's literally panels just next to you.
I was just gonna say that. It was like the same like weird texture where you walk up and you're like, this has gotta be a secret door or something. You feel like you're in the video game at certain moments. Not all the time, but there is some fan service.
Now, we talked about the action scenes in Karl Urban versus The Rock, but we really haven't touched base on how badass Destroyer was. And his fight scene was actually like really like gruesome.
He was really great. He put up with a lot of shit, and he walked around with a minigun, which has gotta be like 150 pounds. Yeah, he shot some monkeys, whatever. He didn't get to shoot some, when he started getting...
I just gotta stop you real fast, Jay. But that monkey, that was not the monkey, but the death of the monkey.
That's a fucking weird thing.
I hate monkeys. Anyways, you can continue now.
I think monkeys are adorable. They have really small faces.
Disgusting. They throw their shit at you. They'll Spider-Man you anytime they want.
I gotta take a dump.
No.
Unless you want me shitting my pants right here.
Even in the Destroyer fight scene, it was pretty awesome when he like impaled the creature into the electric fence. I'm just gonna like crawl my way up this chain.
Also, shout out to the evolution of USB that becomes some rubbery fruit by the foot looking gizmo.
Sir, are you okay?
I did like Rosamund Pike. She stuck to her guns all the time. Like, she's there for a very specific purpose. And there's all types of these fucking army dudes walking in, doing some bullshit, including her brother. Like, there's just some drama. And she's just like, I have shit to do. And she's trying to keep keeping on, you know?
We finally done here because I've got a job to do. If you'll follow me.
One of my major dislikes about this was definitely dialogue, mainly from The Rock. Now, he was great in the movie, but when your face is yelling, but you don't quite seem like you're yelling.
Nothing gets the elevator back on Earth. If it breathes, kill it.
It's a little, not off-putting, but it just didn't look right. Just a lot of it can be cheesy. It's not 100% true to the games where there's no portal to hell, nothing like that. It's just, it's the 24th genome and it picks evil out of the people and good in others kind of thing. And
A ganglion, latching onto numbers in the DNA code linked.
Linked to what? Evil?
10% of the human genome is still unmapped.
from playing the games and that, I want demons from hell, and I want Doom Guy, I want Rip and Tear. I didn't get that.
As much as I loved the Karl Urban and Rock showdown, I was really disappointed with a few things that The Rock didn't do, especially because at this time he's advertised as a wrestler before an actor. If he's fighting Karl Urban, I want a rock bottom. If they're constantly doing close-ups of his face, I want a people's eyebrow. People are either gonna go watch this movie when it came out because they're huge video game fans, or they're huge wrestling fans and want to see The Rock in a movie. If you're not doing those like traits or tropes that he's known for, it is kind of disappointing. I mean, the closest we got to a rock bottom was Karl Urban going to deliver one to the people's champ.
They weren't trying to stop something from getting in. Something stopped them from getting out.
I think the whole movie was just way too long and way too dark. We watched like the unrated version that has all of like, we do have some nudity scenes in here that didn't exist in the theatrical version. So there were some extra scenes that we watched, but like, come on. A Doom movie doesn't even need to be close to 2 hours, considering 5 minutes are the good stuff. But the biggest complaint is definitely that a lot of the scenes are way too dark. They're all shiny and there's like one light on them. This is the future. Everybody's got lights. I don't know why everything was so dark. It's not like this whole place was just shut down for some reason. It's just like, oh no, these specific corridors that you guys need to go in, mega dark. There were times where we could talk for like 2 to 3 minutes, like just amongst each other on the couch and not miss a beat. It's just people walking around in the dark and it didn't matter.
Yeah, like there was a lot of like search and explore without any real interaction or anything that's going to further the story.
And I don't know if you touched on it still, but the long pauses. They'll do a bunch of dialogue. Instead of just cutting next scene, it's like, let's find out who owns this arm or whatever. And then, okay, now it's the cut.
Now let's see if we can find a body that goes with that arm.
Sarge, I think we found the rest of that arm.
It's like every time The Rock had a line, they would do some kind of crazy zoom in. He'd raise his gun or he would cock it and then he would just say a thing.
Holy shit.
Look at the camera really intensely. It's so awkward. Oh, it makes me feel weird. Doom was an okay movie. As a first time watch, I really expected it to be worse, but it's still not that great, to be honest. I really enjoyed the first person aspect of this film, but at the same time, it also didn't need to be 2 hours long. I did like some things, but it's not something I'll probably watch again. But it does make me want to watch Hardcore Henry again. So I'm gonna give this 1.5 sisterly advices out of 5.
Does it ever bother you? You could have spent your life looking in a microscope instead of a sniper scope.
It's not a perfect movie, but it does have a special place with me. I remember going to the theater, seeing this by myself, no one in the theater, but I loved that experience. I liked some of the references to the game, especially with the weapons and how some of the enemy or the creatures were. Obviously taking liberties with the movie where it's not, again, demons from hell, which I wish it was instead of just a mutation. I didn't like that really. Overall, I don't mind watching this. I'll put it on every now and again just to throw something on, and I do enjoy it still, but I will only give it a 2.5 deadly shits out of 5.
This movie's kind of like a guilty pleasure for me because I like the Doom video game and I like the idea that it was turned into a movie, and I'm a huge fan of The Rock. The film just gets like an extra point for actually going through and doing a first-person shooting scene. The film itself drags on and there's a lot of pointless scenes which ruins the pacing of it, but I still had a fun time watching it. So with that being said, I'm gonna give this film 3 little sluggers out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on the film if you've seen it. If you haven't and you do want to check it out, links are in the description. And if this is your first time here, make sure you subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with everything
Bloodbath TV.